Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, go ahead and leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, of course, the big news that I'm sure many of you have already heard, and that is the SEC has given the partial approval of the Ethereum Spot ETF applications. This is a massive win for the crypto market, not only for Ethereum, but for the entire altcoin market, because we know historically Bitcoin has been given the non-security classification. There were questions about Ethereum's classification of being a security or not. And we know many altcoins are built on the Ethereum blockchain. And this will give more confidence to investors and shows that things are moving in a direction away from scumbag regulator Gary Gensler. We know the FIT crypto regulation bill was passed in the House. The SEC got rebuked with their SOB 121 getting repealed, with Democrats joining the Republicans to not only repeal SOB 121 in the House and the Senate, but also passing the FIT bill in the House. So Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren's Democrat friends have turned on them. And I don't think Gary wanted to approve these ETFs, but he had to. Just like the Bitcoin ETF situation, the courts called the SEC arbitrary and capricious. It forced Gary's hand. Same thing here. Politics played a part where Democrats turned their backs on Elizabeth Warren and Gary, and he had to because he's a political liability now, as Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has been saying. So, of course, the folks at Bloomberg, James Seyffert, and all the guys, Eric Balchunas, tweeted out about this, saying this has all been approved. If you saw my interview with James Seyffert from this morning, we discussed the phases to this. So phase 1 has been approved, and that is the 19Bs, and that's the big hurdle. Next comes the S1s. Now, one of the things James said is that that could get approved within 3 weeks or 5 months from now. So it's a pretty big window. Hopefully the SEC moves fast on this and we see it maybe in a month's time. But for the most part, this is a foregone conclusion. It's been approved. It's out there, right? It's happening. So we just got to go through the paperwork, get the S1s done, and then the Ethereum Spot ETFs can start trading. So pretty historic, amazing win here for the crypto market. Guys, we are winning so much now. Here, a spokesperson for the SEC said the agency won't be commenting beyond the approval order. Of course, Gary doesn't want to talk about this. We know when he feels happy, he goes out, he makes a video, he does the PR tour, he'll go on CNBC and talk about, oh yeah, we did this and we did that. He doesn't want to talk about this. Clearly, he didn't want to approve this, but the political winds changed on him, and Democrats turning against him and Elizabeth Warren forced his hand, folks. This is pretty amazing what's happening. I hope you're bullish as I am. And folks, this is big for the altcoins. It just opens up the door for more altcoin ETFs. And actually, there's a bunch of folks calling for a Solana ETF. Anthony Scaramucci and a bunch of other people are saying we are going to get a Solana ETF. Get ready. Now, they're jumping the gun here a bit, right? Like we got to get the ETH actually live and trading, but I think the market is sensing, once again, the door is open for other altcoins. Now, BlackRock's Spot Ethereum ETF has been listed on the DTCC website under the ticker ETHA, so ETHA. So the gears are in motion. Things are moving in the right direction here, folks. And, you know, I just mentioned, are you tired of winning yet? And it's been an incredible past month. Taylor Barr of the Digital Chamber kind of recapped all the big things. So, of course, we had the Democrats join the Republicans to repeal SOB 121 in the House. Then Democrats joined the Republicans in the Senate to repeal SOB 121, and Schumer and 10 big-time Democrats joined that vote. And then, of course, the House passed the FIT 21 with 71 Democrats. And the SEC, of course, partially approved the Ethereum Spot ETF. So, big wins. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I think Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler have lost the narrative. They're on the losing side of history. And if your own party is turning against you, that's it. You're done. They're both done. And in fact, Senator Cynthia Lummis tweeted out today, and amazingly, she's like, we're building a pro-crypto army in the Senate. That is in a direct contrast to Elizabeth Warren, who's also in the Senate. So see what's happening here, folks. we are on the winning side of history. Now, did the price of Ethereum do anything special? No, but we have to step back a bit here because there's a bit of buy the rumor, sell the news event, right? We saw this with the Bitcoin ETF. Nothing happened when it got approved. In fact, the price pulled back when it got approved, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. But then what happened in the coming weeks? Massive buying and inflows that sent the price of Bitcoin to new all-time highs before the halving. I think a similar move will happen for Ethereum, but be patient. Some people are like, why isn't the price going nuts? Well, market cycles have to play out. You have to understand the market cycles from the micro and the macro, and we have to give time for things to move. Plus, nobody can actually buy the ETFs yet. They haven't gone officially live for trading. So be patient is what I'm trying to say. Be patient, but look at the green candle that printed this week in anticipation of the Ethereum Spot ETF approval, right? Just look at that massive reversal. And that reversal is a great sign for the next leg up. We're waiting for Bitcoin to do the same thing. And we're going to see fireworks, folks. So just be patient, enjoy the ride. More capital, more bullish activity is coming. We got the momentum, not only from a macro perspective with global liquidity, we are in an uptrend, but also the government's passing regulations, ETFs getting approved, and much more. And Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler losing that narrative. They've been trying to paint that crypto's a scam, crypto is rife with fraud and all kinds of nonsense, right? Here's what Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse had to say about this. He said, big momentum in crypto this week. ETH ETF passed and bipartisan support on crypto legislation. Feels like hell has frozen over. Paul Grewal, chief legal officer at Coinbase, said this week, this day has been a roller coaster unlike any other I've seen. ETH is effectively deemed a commodity as we've always known it to be. I'm proud to be on a team Coinbase, the trusted partner and custodian for many of the issuers who had 19B-4s approved tonight. So big win for the industry, folks. Now, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Uphold. Uphold makes crypto investing easy. You can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, all the top altcoins. They have 260 plus cryptocurrencies, and you can also trade precious metals on this platform, such as gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. They support many different fiat currencies, and I think over 150 countries. They have full transparency reports and audits that you can take a look at. They don't commingle or lend out your funds. I've been using Uphold since 2018. I've interviewed the CEO, CFO, many folks. So I can vouch for this platform. I've been, like I said, using it for years. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now, folks, big news coming from Coinbase. So specifically for New York users, there's been a blacklist, right? And New York is tough because of that bit license. And XRP was not available to New York users. Well, Coinbase tweeted out today, exciting news for our New York users. XRP is now available to New York residents, and it's available on the apps, on the website, and so forth. Now, on its face, this you may say, well, who cares? Whatever, XRP is okay in New York. Guys, this is much more complicated. Remember my conversations with James Murphy, Metal Lawman? Remember, there's the NYDFS was doing some shady stuff. They didn't put XRP back on the green list with other assets, even after the ruling in the Ripple lawsuit. And, one of the things I spoke about with James is that this seems political. It goes back to the SEC pulling the strings here and, that political stance. Well, don't put it back on the list, right? They don't want you to trade it. So I'm glad, Coinbase stepped up and they got this done. Paul Grewal talked about, we heard from the users and folks wanted to trade this, of course. And I think this is a big signal, once again, of the theme of SEC weakness and losing and the crypto asset class moving in the right direction. Could this also signal something is around the corner with some sort of resolution with the SEC and Ripple to wrap up that lawsuit? It's possible. Highly possible. The SEC is in a very weak spot here. It would make sense for them to not drag this out, but to at least say, you know what, we're going to take $50 million from Ripple as a penalty, and then we'll settle this. So at least we get a headline that we won something, right? I think the SEC, Gary Gensler, might think that way, given all the losses they're taking, right? They're taking a beating right now. So if I was Gary, I would say, all right, I'm going to settle with Ripple, maybe, I don't know, 50 million, 100 million, just, and let's wrap this up. So that could be around the corner. I honestly believe that. So bullish news, guys. Like I said, are you getting tired of winning yet? This is just the beginning phases, guys. We got way further to go in this bull market, and new all-time highs to be hit. And of course, I hold Ethereum, I hold Bitcoin, I hold XRP, I hold Solana. I'm diversified. And I'm here to make money. So I'm looking to make some life-changing money in this bull market cycle, but also future bull market cycles. I've told you guys about my strategy many times. I'll take profits at the blow off top. I'll reinvest some of those profits into crypto and other assets, pay off debt, put a whole bunch of it into retirement as well. And in my pool of reinvesting money, I will be buying the bloody bear market again when this market corrects, maybe late 2025, 2026, and then it's another 70%, 80% down, like we've seen historically. I'll be buying those dips. And then rinse and repeat. You got to exercise some patience along the way as well. So I hope, sharing my experience and thought process with these things is helping some of you to position yourself to make money. Folks, don't forget to grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and in digital. Grab a copy to support the podcast. It's only $18. The digital is $10. And also grab a couple copies for your friends and family who want to learn about crypto. This book outlines crypto's past, present, and future, gives tips for investing in crypto, talks about the ETF race, why that's happening, why is Wall Street here, talks about tokenization, NFTs, and much more, and why Gary Gensler and the SEC have been fighting the industry and much more, guys. So thank you for your support. The links will be in the description. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.